So obviously disappointing. You were expecting to fight. You were really eager to get back on the winning track. What was your feeling when you found out about it?
You always feel like as like a fighter you have like a sixth sense to things are going to kind of happen in a good way or a bad way. I felt like everything was perfect for me this camp. Making weight was so simple. I mean, I was eating a sandwich when I was checking in for the week and stuff. So I didn't see this coming. I didn't feel it coming. I felt like for once things were really kind of going in my direction. I didn't expect this. So my phone, I always put my phone away when I get in the back, and I put my phone away. Amber came to the back and she goes, "Jessica, Sean Shelby's on the phone," and my coaches look at me, and they're like, Sean Shelby doesn't call anybody before the fight unless it's something bad. So obviously we got on the phone, and he told me that Aspen had gotten sick, and I just felt like a wave of emotion because I know more than you guys know that I'm on the hot seat. We know this sport is about if you're not on top, then you're at the bottom and you're out. They find someone else to swim better than you, and I know more than anybody where my career is at right now, and I wanted to prove to myself more than anything. So I left no stone unturned. I came in making weight. I had such a positive camp, and it was just it sucks. What else can I say? It really hurts, and I feel like it's something is bigger and better to happen. I asked Sean if I could have my next fight at 125, and they told me yes. So it's an overwhelming amount of emotion. So I feel like everything happens for a reason. So maybe that's why this happened the way it did, is for me to go through these motions again here with you guys, and keep my weight low and be able to go through this whole week again to prove to myself that I am supposed to be here and I am as the professional that I am, because unfortunately I don't know what happened with Aspen. I have my own speculations. I think it was just a bad weight cut, and I think that that's what it was. And unfortunately for her, that is going to cost her a lot of accountability, because let's face it, a part of being a fighter is making weight and making it to the fight. So I think her accountability was jeopardized, whereas mine was continuously to look like the professional that I am.
How much are you fit for 125? Because since I met you in your first fight in Houston back in when you fought Kaufman, you told me you're more of a natural 125er. So is that something like you've been waiting for this to happen?
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys, let's face it, how did anybody find out about me in fighting? I was a 125er for years. I was in, Bellator at 125. I beat everybody in Bellator. They cut their division, and, thankfully the UFC had started, in Strikeforce, and the UFC had started at that time to move up and do more weight classes. So the 35 was the only place to go. I was 26 years old. What was I supposed to do, sit on the bench until something bigger or better happened? I had no choice but to go up in weight. So I think at that time I thought, maybe I need to put on more muscle. Maybe I need to do all these other things to get myself suited for 135. And in all reality, I started lifting more. I started eating more. And then all of a sudden I started gaining weight. And it slowed me down. It changed my mechanics. And it compromised what made me the best fighter in the world. Let's face it, I don't care what anybody says. I was the #1 best fighter at 125, and I want my chance to be there. Cody Garbrandt and Stipe Miocic, I've been training alongside them, fighting alongside them for years, and they got to run in their lane, and then I was forced out of my lane, and I was told I had to go up a weight class to do anything. And let's face it, guys, I don't walk as heavy as them. I grappled Misha at a Submission Underground a couple months back, and we were able to talk, and I got some really great advice from her. But she weighed in at 157. I had to force myself to 145 to make that, to say remotely even close. So, I feel like something has found a reason for me not to fight today, and I'm gonna stick with that, in whatever way it is, so that I can be back at 125.
Just a quick question. How's it feel walking with champions? How you gain that mindset to be around Stipe and Cody, and also are you going to go on the show if there's an Ultimate Fighter to keep in that house?
Listen, I don't want to be on the show. I want to coach the show. What do you mean? Like, I'm 30 years old. I've earned my stripes. I've fought a lot of girls, and let's face it, at 135, I didn't go. Nobody's even made me bleed. I'm trying to figure out that a moment where I've been dominated in any of these fights. I'm a gamer. I bring a lot to the table, and guys like Stipe and Cody, when I say you guys, I started fighting when I was 18, and I've been alongside them for years. I want to be like them. I want my chance. why don't I deserve it? Other people aren't forced out of their weight class, and I think the UFC is finally becoming more mainstream, that you're seeing that there needs to be more weight classes. It's not as small as or as narrow-minded as it seems now. So to see those guys, I was just backstage with Cody and Stipe, and bless his heart, man, like, he came here for me. He didn't come here for the media. He didn't come here for everybody else. He came here to support me because he's been my longtime friend, and I want to be that. I want to be the first female to put a strap around my 125 strap around my waist, and I'll be there. I will. I mean, it has to happen.
Does it put any anxiety on you at all, like having the fight after you go through the cut, having the fight cut off, and then you have to kind of wait and see if that fight at 25 is next, or if you wait and see?
No, there's no if. It's a yes. That was what I was told tonight, and I said it's not fair. I want my chance. Dana and Sean both said, yes, Jessica, you can have your next fight at 125. I mean, guys, I woke up at 137 today. Okay, and I smashed. This week, I came in at 39 with my clothes on. I could have easily made 25. I ate all week. I ate the night before. I drank the night before. And I've changed some things in my life, and unfortunately, I've had some really crazy ups and downs. You guys will never understand what it's like to be on my end. You'll hear things, and sometimes I try to almost sugarcoat them, and I've tried to, and I quit trying to sugarcoat things. I mean, it is what it is. My life is much different now. I'm trying to embrace who I am, and for my mistakes, for the success that, maybe this is a chance for me to do something bigger. I have to have that kind of attitude. I don't want to have anxiety. I don't want to take what happened this week back to my camp. I want to go home, help my teammates get ready for their fight, some of my other teammates, and get back on the horse and hopefully fight in New York in November, since it's so close to home.
Got anyone on your mind?
Yeah, I do. That's for me to know and for you to find out. So unfortunately, you just stay tuned. Like we don't like to let the cat out of the bag, but my next fight will be at 125, and I think that will be the true fighter that you guys have seen over the years. I mean, that's where I shine at the most, and that's where I know I should be.
When did you know that Aspen sort of had a bad weight cut? Because we saw her yesterday. She didn't look that bad, at least from our perspective.
When I seen her pound a Pedialyte in about a second, right after she got that scale in the morning. Anybody as a fighter, like as the person on the fight end, okay? Anytime I have to drink Pedialyte, I have to get off the scale before I even say thank you, and my mouth is stuck together, there's a bad weight cut. I mean, making weight isn't our job, in the sense of where that week you come here and you have to make it so miserable for yourself. It should already be done. You should come this week and be able to relax. You've done all the hard work. You've trained for 7-8 weeks. You've been through the grind. You've stretched yourself to the max. That this week you should come here and relax. And that's what I did this time. And that's what I came here to prove to myself. And as fighters, you can kind of see when someone's been on the struggle bus a little bit. And I personally could see it, and I could see it that day when we went to the weigh-ins. I didn't think that this was gonna happen, and I don't wish bad on her, you know what I mean? And this is my speculation. I don't know what happened. Maybe she ate bad chicken. I don't know. But an hour before the fight, I mean, come on.
So that's what the UFC told you, was like an hour before is when she like as far as...
I think in the morning she had woke up, with a stomach ache, and had some not feeling quite right, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I heard when you get food poisoning, it usually happens within an hour of that. You usually get sick. But we've all been there. Listen, I've had some hard weight cuts at 125 and woke up the next morning and felt like crap because I gourded myself, the night before. So, yet again, this is just my speculation. I mean, I feel like if I knew that I was going to be sick that morning, I think I would have called it then, instead of trying to push it to the max.
Are you getting paid for tonight?
I sure did. Believe me, I asked, and I feel like rightfully so, right? I mean, I did my job. I did everything I was supposed to do. This wasn't, believe me, you guys, I was going to get cut, right? We all know that I've had some decision losses. I left no stone unturned for this. Like, I knew what was at stake, and I want to be a fighter. I want to be an inspiration. I want to be the best in the world, like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to say to that.
What are you going to do tonight then?
I am going to go hang out with Stipe and my teammates and hang out, enjoy, I guess, a Vegas trip. I had 30-plus people come from Cleveland, alone, not to mention all around the world, because, maybe even if some people don't believe in me, I know that there's a lot of people in this world that believe in me and can understand that I've been fighting outside of my weight class. So, I want to go enjoy some time with them, and enjoy this moment for at least a second. The cool thing about fighting is it brings people from all likes of the world together, and I was able to bring so many people of different parts of the world together for a moment. So, why not go enjoy that with them and enjoy that in that way?
Did you get show and win, or just show?
Just show.
Did you try for win?
No, I mean, no. I guess it would be nice to have that, extra amount of money. My house just flooded on Friday, unfortunately. So I've had some of my own struggles right before we came. Believe me, I would love to walk away with that double, and even the bonus that I anticipated on getting. But unfortunately, it's just I'm not trying to be greedy right now. I'm trying to have faith in a lot of things in life. I'm trying to have faith in myself. I'm trying to have faith in that there are things that happen the way that they do. Instead of always trying to force things. I've always been kind of a person that forces too many things and always tries to make everybody happy and ask too many questions that I feel like if I just back off a minute, the right things will happen. So.
What does the hair represent?
So we were, trying to have fun with it. Obviously there's an entertainment aspect of, fighting and stuff. I have been trying to dye it and get it. I'm a dark hair girl, so I was dyeing it to get it to a gray color because we were calling it the eye of the storm was truly coming. The eye of the storm was really going to be here, and I was going to prove to myself, and I wanted to look good, fight good, and feel that way for myself, going into it, that I was channeling something very fun in my way. I do this for myself, but I like to make it entertaining for the fans and make it enjoyable for them. I mean, it is still a show in that way.
So kind of like Storm and X-Men?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what it was, channeling the storm.
After you go through the whole training camp and fight week, and then you cut weight, and then you make weight, and you're now an hour or two away, you're obviously anticipating a release, right? You're going to go in the cage, you're going to win. You don't have that release now. How do you cope with that?
I don't know. Because I'm still kind of I'm here, so it's still kind of fuzzy. I'll probably go home, hang out with my dog. I'll probably shed a couple tears out of emotion of just the whole week for myself because, I'm doing this for my future and my future family, my future life. So I think that right now I'm still kind of just here. There's too much. I don't know how to really absorb it all. I just know that the fight is not happening. I was given some kind of money, in that way. I didn't lose, but I didn't win. So I feel like once I get home and I settle down for a minute and I can kind of grasp a concept, I'm not taking a week off because I'm using momentum. Again, like I said, I don't want to get my weight over 135, so that 25 is going to be, a good cut for me to get down there because even when I did fight 125 before, that last 5 pounds was still, an SOB. So, I want to make sure I'm within reach so that when I do come back again and I am here at Fight Week, that it is just as easy breezy because, again, you guys, I like feeling like a winner. I like getting my hand raised. I miss the way that feels. I crave that, and I literally crave the way it feels to be a winner. And unfortunately, you guys as media sources, you guys make us identify ourselves by win or losing, because you only promote us if we win. You don't promote us if we lose. You don't have good headlines. So for me, it's for a while there, I identified myself as a loser. In all reality, I made it to the UFC. Some people will never even make it here. Some people will never have the guts to step in a cage. And the past couple fights, I started identifying myself as a loser, and it took me until probably back in December, after grappling with Misha and having such a amazing conversation and night with her and her coach, that they go, Jess, what are you holding back anymore? What is your problem? You're such an amazing fighter. We've followed you for years. What are you holding back? And I feel like I've learned to embrace that again. And when I get home, I'll reassess that and reassess what next step is, an option for me.
Thanks, Jessica.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.